I genuinely believe that my problems were tied to my postcode. That if I just left, changed the country, changed the language, changed the streets I walk down every morning, I would finally become the version of myself I'd been promising to be. So I left. I want to tell you what actually happened because no one talks about this part. I'm Sarah, I'm Iranian, I'm a mother, and I've been living in the UK as an outsider for long enough to know that immigration doesn't come with the transformation package I thought I ordered. I brought every single one of my thoughts with me. Every doubt, every old story about who I was supposed to be by now, and every voice that said I was running out of time. They all got on the plane. They didn't even need a visa. And I think a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe it wasn't a new country, maybe it was a new job, a new city, a new relationship, a new chapter you believed, genuinely believed, was going to be the one that finally clicked everything into place. And then it didn't. And then you had to sit with the uncomfortable realization that changing countries could change your circumstances, but it couldn't change your relationship with you. That's not a tragedy, but it took me a long time to stop treating it like one. There is a version of starting over story that we all love to hear, and we've probably heard it 1,000 times already. Woman is a stock, woman makes brave decision, woman transforms, and woman glows. What we don't show, what I didn't show anyone for a long time, is the chapter in between the brave decision and the glow. The bit where you've already burned down the old life and the new one hasn't started yet. And you're standing in the middle of a country that doesn't quite sound like home, asking yourself whether you made a catastrophic decision. I used to lie awake, and I mean this literally, at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling in a house that didn't feel like mine yet, making a mental list of everything I thought I'd have by now. A business, a clear identity, a sense that I was on the right path. I had none of it. And I really mean it. I had zero. And I was exhausted by the performance of pretending like I had it all together. So when I started researching about the women who had genuinely reinvented themselves, not the fairy tale version of it, the real, actual dirty ones, I kept coming back to one woman. And the reason why I came back to her was not what you'd expect. Carolina Herrera is one of the most iconic names in fashion in history. She dressed Jacqueline Kennedy, Michelle Obama. She built a global empire. And the story we're told is that she started from nothing, that everyone doubted her, that she proved them all wrong. But here's the thing I found far more interesting than that story. She already had everything: the connections, the social capital, the reputation. By any external measure, she had enough, more than enough, to coast quietly and comfortably for the rest of her life. And she chose not to, not out of desperation, not because her back was against the wall, because she refused to accept the life that was given to her to be the one that she lived for the rest of her life. The distinction matters enormously, because I used to think that I need to be desperate enough to change, that I need to struggle enough, suffer enough, before I'd earned the right to change the life that I was given. Can I tell you about the voices? There's the one that says, you left too late. That the women who were going to make something out of themselves had already left. And you're watching them from somewhere slightly behind where you should be. There's the one that compares constantly, that takes every woman I admire and turns her into a lesson to teach me of my inadequacy. And there's the one, and this is the one I'm most embarrassed of, that says my ambition is somehow selfish. That wanting more when I already have a child I love and a roof on top of my head that people would be grateful for is somehow ungrateful. I'm Iranian, and the cultural weight of that particular voice is somehow significant. You don't talk about it, you carry it quietly, and you smile at the moments when you want to tell everyone you're doing fine. I'm done being fine. What I've learned, slowly, reluctantly, in a country that wasn't where I was born, is that the voices don't go away when you move. They don't go away when you succeed. They don't go away when you finally get the things you thought it would silence them. They get quiet when you stop running from them and start building in spite of them. When you make the thing anyway and let the voice watch. I'm building this brand in public because I believe the most dishonest thing a woman can do is to pretend she has it all figured out. I don't. I'm in mid-process. I'm in the messy middle of a reinvention that I chose, and I'm scared of it. But I've stopped waiting to arrive before I started talking, because I think the women who need this most aren't looking for someone who made it. They're looking for someone who's making it, present tense, and is honest about what it actually costs. Over the next few years, this channel is going to document my own experiment. Can a woman rebuild herself intentionally through style, through creativity, through building something meaningful? I don't know yet, and that's why I'm filming it. If you like the content and if you felt yourself seen and heard, please like the content because I made this during the baby nap time. And subscribe if you want to watch something happen in the real time, not highlight stories, no before and after, just the mid-process. And I want to leave you with something uncomfortable before you go. What if the life you're waiting to start, the one you keep saying you'll begin when things settle down, when the timing is right, when you finally feel ready, what if that's not cautious? What if that's fear with better branding? Tell me in the comments, what did you think that would fix you and it didn't? A new relationship, a new city, losing the weight. Tell me your version of getting on that plane. Because I think we've all boarded that flight and some of us may be waiting for the luggage. Next week, I'm talking about the hidden cost of motherhood that no one puts in the parenting book, and I promise it's not what you think it is.